What's going on, guys? This is Rob, and we are back with another installment of our Beyond Omega Level series where we explain the most powerful characters in comics. And since we haven't done a DC character in a while, today we're going to talk about one of the most powerful versions of one of DC's most popular characters, Wonder Woman. Particularly as she appears in the Witching Hour miniseries written by James Tynion in 2018 and 2019. So, this story actually begins in Tynion's Justice League Dark, where in issue number 2, we see a flashback where Diana is a child and happens upon a ritual occurring at a crossroads in Themyscira. Now, the ritual is being performed by the servants of Hecate, which I think is how you pronounce her name, which is basically the goddess of magic and witches, who basically appears and orders her servants to bring Diana to her. And then Hecate brands her on the forehead with a hot iron, so she bears Hecate's witch mark. And so the threat Diana and some of the other magic users like John Constantine, Zatanna, and Swamp Thing are dealing with is the fact that Earth's magic is essentially vanishing, as well as an invasion of Earth by a species called the Other Kind. Now they go to Dr. Fate for help, but find that he's been trapped in the helmet of Nabu by the god himself, and that Nabu's basically inhabiting the body of Dr. Fate. Now it turns out that Nabu's on the side of the Other Kind, and then attempts to feed Diana and her allies to an entity known as the Upside Down Man, who is literally able to destroy Swamp Thing with a simple gesture. He then rips the demon blood out of John Constantine's body. So the Upside Down Man is obviously not somebody to take lightly, because this guy basically had no trouble absolutely decimating Swamp Thing and Constantine, who were both ridiculously powerful guys. Now the Upside Down Man then senses a vast power source within Wonder Woman and activates the witch mark that had been placed on her years ago. And so with the mark activated, Diana turns glowing white, and she's able to banish the Upside Down Man back to his dimension simply by uttering a spell given to her by Zatanna. So already, this version of Wonder Woman has the ability to open dimensional barriers. We then see another flashback of Diana as a child living on Themyscira on the day after Diana's encounter with Hecate. Now Diana's mother, Queen Hippolyta, questions the priestess about what happened, and they basically explain that it must have been some kind of a dream or hallucination that Diana had experienced. Of course, this comforts Diana enough that she's able to accept their answer and essentially leave. Now Hippolyta continues to question the servants, and the goddess herself shows up and then basically explains that their worship had not been satisfactory and that she'll soon return for the witch mark. And so fast forwarding to the present day, and Wonder Woman is essentially with the Justice League, petitioning them to approve the creation of Justice League Dark in order to deal with otherworldly threats, and simply explains how powerful the Upside Down Man was. And when Superman questions how she was able to defeat him, Diana, which was really interesting, actually removed her hand from the lasso of truth so she could lie and simply say she just got lucky. Now later, Hecate would reappear on Earth and reveal that she is the one responsible for the disappearance of Earth's magic, and she reawakens Diana's memory of who she is and being branded with her mark. And so as Wonder Woman and Justice League Dark search for a solution, they seek out a sorceress named Circe, who explains that long ago, before the gods had walked the earth, that Hecate had split her soul into 5 pieces and divided it among 5 young women she called her witch marked, until such a time that she was able to absorb all of this back into herself. Now as they discuss Diana's power as one of the witch marked, Diana says she could rip the world apart, and Zatanna adds that Diana's power could fundamentally alter reality. Then, when Deadman shows up and basically informs the team that another of the witch marked is wreaking havoc on the city of Nanda Parbat, Wonder Woman literally rips a hole in the fabric of reality so they could basically be transported to Nanda Parbat, and does all of this with a simple flick of her wrist. Now Wonder Woman then battles Hecate for a while, but eventually is overpowered, and then Wonder Woman is turned into a pawn of Hecate, who's ordered to destroy Olympus, the home of the Greek pantheon of gods. Now Hecate's ultimate goal is to destroy the Sphere of Gods, a realm of the DC multiverse where the gods in magic originate. And one of her other witch marks, somebody named Black Orchid, is sent to the Parliament of Trees, the guardians of the green, or the collective consciousness of all plant life in the DC universe, whatever you want to call them, and is able to transform it into a parliament of flowers. It's also revealed that Hecate existed prior to the creation of magic, and that she had encountered the Upside Down Man once before, and was so frightened by him that she set up a barrier between the two of them. Now later, Hecate would come to Earth, and it was from her that all the various pantheons of gods and the Sphere of Gods itself were born. Now as Wonder Woman continues to destroy and reshape reality, Constantine and Zatanna attempt an exorcism to free Wonder Woman of Hecate's control. And while they are not successful in freeing Diana, the two of them do free the other witch-marked Black Orchid and Manitou Dawn. When they do this, however, Wonder Woman absorbs the pieces of Hecate's soul that it resided within them, which makes her 3 times more powerful. Not only that, she's so powerful that at this point, When she walks up to a hillside, she literally shakes reality with every step she takes. Now, still doing Hecate's bidding, she destroys a mountain simply by gesturing, and then also leaves every place of worship in shambles except those dedicated to the worship of Hecate herself. Now, eventually, Diana begins to realize that she cannot carry all this power for much longer and begs the goddess to release her and to use her powers to heal magic instead of destroying it. The goddess, of course, refuses to listen to Diana, and desperate to defeat this chick, Diana asks Zatanna to use her magic to open the door between their dimension and the dimension where the Upside Down Man resides. And although Zatanna is reluctant to do that, she ultimately agrees, and the Upside Down Man comes through the door and immediately begins devouring Hecate. Now, as Diana's power begins to fade, she opens a gateway back to Earth for the rest of the Justice League Dark to go through, and uses the last bit of her power to close the doorway to the Upside Down Man's dimension, seemingly sealing him away forever. One thing I want to point out is that this one storyline was the only time when we saw Wonder Woman this powerful. So unfortunately, we don't have a lot of feats to talk about, but the few that we do have show just how insane this version of Wonder Woman is. She had the powers of a literal goddess, could level mountains at will, and could tear holes in reality itself. If she had been allowed to keep serving this chick and hadn't been separated from her control or power, the world as we know it in DC Comics literally would not exist. But let me know what you guys think, right? I mean, it's not our traditional Beyond Omega level series, but it's really more of just kind of a character story arc, basically. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments section. Also, always keep me posted if there's anybody in particular that you want to see. Thank you all for watching, and I will catch you all later. Peace.